Welcome into Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. I'm Patty. I'm a jewelry designer here. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful ruby and sterling silver bracelet. Isn't that just beautiful? This is the perfect gift for those July birthdays, as it's the birthstone for July. But it's just a beautiful, elegant piece that I think anyone would like to wear. Very simple to make. It's what we call simple stringing. I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. Just a few tools and a few supplies and you're all ready to go. Don't forget to sign up for our email newsletter. The link is in the description below. So the first thing that I'll do is pull off about 10 inches of the Accu-Flex. That's about what I usually work with when making a standard bracelet. We'll snip that off. Great. We're going to go ahead and finish one end. So I'll use an Accu-Guard, a crimp bead, and a crimp cover to do that. So the first thing you'll do is grab the little crimp bead and you're gonna thread that onto the Accu-Flex wire. And then I'm putting on my Accu-Guard, this little horseshoe shape, through one hole and then the other hole, and it just kind of goes around the horseshoe. And then the other tail goes right back through that crimp bead. And I want to make sure I don't get any of that Accu-Guard inside my crimping plier because I don't want to crimp that. Then I'm going to take up all the slack. And in order to leave a little space for the crimp cover, I'm going to pull back just about 1 millimeter. So I'm leaving just a little slack, just enough. And then I'm going to crimp really hard with lots of pressure. I even use both hands to do that. At this point, I'm going to cut my tail off. So just a short tail coming up really close to the crimp bead, clip off that tail. Okay, now we're going to add the crimp cover. So it's just perfectly open to the outside. And then I like to hold the Accu-Guard and let the crimp fall right in that crimp cover. Make sure it's in there well and close it up. And I go around in kind of a little circle to make sure that it's nicely closed. So the pattern that we have for this bracelet, we're starting with one of the little 1 millimeter dot rondelles. I'm going to thread that on. And then I'm going to take one of my ruby beads, and the blunt end goes first in this pattern. So we're going to put the blunt end in first of our little pear-shaped bead. So there's one. And then in the middle of the two ruby beads, we have dot rondelles and a saucer bead, these cute little saucers, and then another one of the 1 millimeter dot rondelles. Okay, so there's the first part of our pattern. Then we're going to take a ruby bead, opposite directions of the first one. So I'm going to put the sharp side first. And there we have the beginning of our pattern. That's looking really good. Now at the blunt end, we have one of these larger dot rondelles. And then we start that pattern again. So there we have our pattern started. 2 ruby beads with 2 small dot rondelles and a saucer in the middle. And then separating those from the other sets, we have a large dot rondelle, and we're just going to keep that pattern all the way down the bracelet. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that and we'll be right back. Okay, now we've got the bracelet almost all the way strung, just a few left. So let's put the last few beads on. And there we've completed the pattern. All we need to do is finish this off and add the clasp. So to finish it off, I'm going to grab a crimp bead, an Accu-Guard, and a crimp cover. You just put the crimp bead on and then thread on that Accu-Guard the same as you did on the other end, and then through the crimp bead, and we'll pull it. At this point, I'm going to close up that Accu-Guard with the outside notch of my crimping tool. Clip off that tail. Now we're going to add the crimp cover. And there we have the finished ends of the bracelet. All we need to do is add the clasp. So I've got these great little swivel lobster claw clasps and 2 sizes of jump rings. So let's grab one of those jump rings. This jump ring, the larger one, will be the one that we clasp to, because it's always nice to have a little larger one to clasp to. And the smaller one will hold the clasp on. So I'm going to grab my bent chain nose pliers and grab the larger one and grab my chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to torque that open and put that on one side of the bracelet. And then I'm going to put the larger side of the clasp that you actually clasp to through that. So when I'm finished, it will actually be all clasped. You can see what it looks like that way. And then we'll take the smaller jump ring and position it in your pliers so you can easily open it up sideways. Put that on the other side of the bracelet, and then put the other end of the clasp through that jump ring as well. And then we'll close that up sideways just the way we opened it, and I like to rock it back and forth just a little bit to have a nice tight connection. And there we have our beautiful ruby and sterling silver bracelet. For more start to finish projects, make sure and check out our website and like, share, and subscribe to spread that video around and make sure that you don't miss any upcoming ones. The link for all the materials in this project is in the description below. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for our email newsletter. We will see you next time.